The top 5 Steam Deck games, Platinum Edition. Now, Valve themselves have put this list out, but there are just some discrepancies. It doesn't really make sense, and I've already kind of made this video before. But there's new data, along with a better list of games that we should dig into. Let's get into this shenanigans. So, Steam has done the Game Awards, and 2022 is a few weeks behind us. But this doesn't mean we have a full set of Steam Deck games that were the top Steam Deck games. It's very weird, because Valve put out a Gaming on the Go list, but does not state Steam Deck, but they also did a Best of 2022 category for the Steam Deck. Their list was kind of weird. One of the last days in December that I checked was different than I checked at the same time on their webpage, which is very confusing because a list is generally the list. It comes out and that's what it is based on whatever criteria they pick. But this one was a little bit different. This one, I believe, was a list that was a changing list. So it was currently using data from Steam and the people playing on it currently up till the time they took it off. So at any given time, if you viewed it on two different apps, so I viewed it on the web page and viewed it on the Steam desktop client, I got two different answers, which makes this even worse because now there's two different answers from two different sources on the same time and day, in addition to having different sources for games on the go. So my brain's exploding. So what I've come up with is I'm going to share with you the Platinum games that Steam picked on their app, so the desktop app, and compare that to a few different other sources so we can see, like, kind of get a full list using a bunch of different lists that are all from Valve. It's very confusing, I know. But I thought I'd make a little more clarity on this because I made a top 5 Steam Deck game list based on their currently top played section, which is also different. Each one of these is being measured differently by either users, playtime, or revenue generated. I know. We're all over the place. So, let's look at Valve's games, then we'll look at the list that I made.
Are you confused yet? Well, I certainly am. So here's the list that Valve came up with for the best of 2022 Steam Deck games. This is based on the year's most played games on the Steam Deck measured by daily active players. The Witcher Wild Hunt, Stray, Cult of the Lamb, Multiverses, Spider-Man Remastered, Elden Ring, Vampire Survivors, Persona 5 Royale, hopefully with cheese, Cyberpunk, Hades, No Man's Sky, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
See, I don't buy this. All of these lists are kind of different. They each offer a different viewpoint into the same games. One's generating revenue, one's generating how many hours played, and sometimes they're just the amount of users visiting per day, which means we have data answering different questions. So what we're going to do here is we are going to cross-reference all of these different charts from Valve's different websites, sources, games on the go, all these different things that they put on, and get our top Steam Deck 2022 Platinum Edition games. With that said, I'm not going to give a 1 through 5 rating, 1 being the best, 5th being the worst. These 5 games are platinum. They are the top cream of the crop, what you should be playing on the Steam Deck, due to all this data. So I'm going to list all 5 of them, but it doesn't mean one is better than the other. It's, here are the 5 best games by data that if you haven't played any of them, it might be worth playing. So let's dig into the list.
Alright, so first up we have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It's been out for a while. It came out in 2015. It is an action role-playing game developed and published by CD Projekt Red. Players still control a ever-elusive Geralt of Rivia, a monster slayer for hire known as a Witcher, and is searching for his adopted daughter who is on the run from the otherworldly Wild Hunt. Next up is Cult of the Lamb, a roguelike video game developed by Massive Monster, where you control a possessed lamb who is saved from death by a godlike stranger and must repay their debt by creating a loyal following in its name. Up Up next is Vampire Survivors. It's a roguelike shoot 'em up by Luca Galante, where the player controls an automatically attacking character fighting against continuous waves of monsters, with the goal being to survive the onslaught for as long as possible to unlock additional goodies for subsequent playthroughs. Next up, we have Hades. Hades is a roguelike video game by Supergiant Games, where the players control Zagreus, the son of Hades, as he attempts to escape from the underworld to reach Mount Olympus. At times aided by gifts bestowed upon him from other Olympians, he's really gotta get out of his house. The final game we have is Elden Ring. It's an action role-playing game in a Souls-like fashion presented through a third-person perspective, where players freely roam an interactive open world, fighting really tough things. Ah, good. All done with the roguelike games. It's really a popular genre on the deck. Let me know in the comments down below, what are the other rogue-type games that you're all playing on the deck? There can't really ever be enough. Getting there?
So this was more of a statistical breakdown of Valve's data into what's going on the Steam Deck and who is playing what on the Steam Deck. I think it's super interesting because we don't really get any of these statistics from like Nintendo or any other system that you generally see. So if you haven't seen the horrible fiasco that was the other video, there were some good points in that video, and all of the games are still very relevant and fun to play. Check them out, because there's plenty of other fiascos that we have right here on the channel. So, you know, plenty of Steam Deck stuff, plenty of other technology videos, and none of them, though, come with pickles. They could, but they don't. Should they?